They said the boy would never speak. For 6 long years, the billionaire's mansion stayed quiet. Too quiet. Only the echo of expensive toys and footsteps on marble broke the silence. Therapists came and went. Prayers were whispered. Doctors shrugged. And hope faded like dust under chandeliers. But everything changed the day the maid's daughter stepped inside that house. She wasn't supposed to touch anything. She wasn't even supposed to be seen. Yet within minutes, she did something no one in that mansion could ever forget, something that shattered the walls of silence and exposed truths that money could no longer hide. Reynolds' estate was the kind of perfection that blinded you, endless white corridors, silver-framed portraits, an air so cold it rejected warmth itself. Henry Reynolds, a tech billionaire, had built an empire from nothing but treated people like nothing. His wife drifted through charity events like a ghost dressed in diamonds, smiling for cameras, empty inside. Behind all that wealth was their secret. Their only son, Ethan, had never spoken a single word. Not once since birth. Every expert had a theory. Trauma, neurological issues, selective mutism. But no therapy, no million-dollar clinic, no miracle worker could unlock the voice trapped inside that little boy. Ethan just sat by himself, day after day, tracing shapes in the dust while his parents chased headlines. Downstairs, in the servant quarters, lived Naomi, a janitor with skin dark as midnight and dreams she'd learned to bury. She cleaned offices she could never afford to work in, her back aching, her silence steady. Her daughter, Amara, only 8, waited for her every evening in the hallway, clutching a worn-out teddy bear with one eye missing. One rainy night, when Naomi's babysitter didn't show, she had no choice but to bring Amara along. She told her, "Sit quietly. Don't wander." But fate, that night, had its own plan. Thunder rolled as Naomi mopped the hallways, and Amara, curious as ever, saw a door slightly open. She peeked in, and her small hand pushed it wider. Inside was a room brighter than anything she'd ever seen. Toys everywhere, walls painted with stars and clouds. And in the middle of it all sat Ethan, pale, quiet, eyes lost somewhere far away. Amara didn't know who he was. She just saw another child sitting alone. She walked closer, clutching her teddy, and placed it in front of him. Ethan didn't react. She smiled anyway. A soft, pure smile that didn't care about money or status or race. Naomi rushed in moments later, panic in her eyes. "Amara, I told you to stay near me." But just as she reached for her daughter's hand, something strange happened. Ethan's eyes, cold and distant for 6 years, moved. He looked at the teddy bear. From that day on, something in the mansion began to change. Each evening, Amara would find her way back into that room. She never spoke much. She'd just play, draw, hum softly while Ethan watched. Slowly, he began responding. First with tiny gestures, then drawings, suns, faces, a girl with a teddy bear. The therapists called it progress. His parents called it a miracle. But in truth, it was something simpler: connection. Word spread through the mansion like wildfire. The maid's daughter had done what the doctors couldn't. The staff whispered. The wife frowned. She didn't want her son near the help. But Henry, obsessed with results, allowed it. Cameras were installed to monitor every interaction. Proof that he could control even a miracle. But not all miracles can be owned. One evening, Amara arrived to find Ethan crying. A faint bruise darkened his arm. Naomi froze when she saw it. Henry's temper had finally boiled over. His pride couldn't handle the idea that his son's voice might belong to someone else's kindness. That night, as thunder roared and rain battered the glass, Amara sat beside Ethan while Naomi mopped quietly nearby. Ethan trembled, clutching a drawing. A family smiling under a sun. A dark figure standing apart. The door creaked open. Henry entered, his voice cold, his frustration rising. He tore the drawing from Ethan's hands. "This isn't helping you," he hissed. Naomi stepped forward, pleading softly. "Please, sir. He's trying." He ignored her. But when he reached again for the paper, something stopped him. Amara stepped between them, tiny, fragile, but unshaken. She lifted her teddy bear toward him, her small arm trembling. It was a silent act of courage, as if that torn old toy could hold back a storm. And for a heartbeat, the world stood still. Then, from the quiet, came a scream. Ethan's voice, raw, human, thunderous, ripped through the mansion. His first word wasn't Mom, it wasn't Dad, it was Amara. Henry froze. Naomi dropped to her knees, tears flooding her eyes. Every camera caught it. The boy breaking his silence, calling out, not to privilege, but to love. The story spread like wildfire. News channels, headlines, social media. Everyone wanted to know the girl who made the billionaire's son speak. The Reynolds family tried to spin it. They said it was therapy, progress, science, divine intervention. But truth has its own way of speaking. And then the leak happened. Security footage from that night, Henry's anger, the bruise on Ethan's arm, surfaced online. The world saw everything. The billionaire who broke before his son healed. Sky-high shares crashed. Sponsors pulled away. Henry vanished from the media. His wife retreated into silence. Naomi was dismissed quietly, offered hush money she refused to take. "You can't silence love," she told a reporter before walking away. And Amara? She went back to her small public school, holding that same teddy bear. Sometimes she'd draw the mansion, not as a symbol of power, but as a memory of a moment when silence was finally broken. Ethan now attended therapy at a small community center, surrounded by laughter and color. He didn't speak much, but one word always came easily. Amara. Because sometimes it's not science that heals us. Not money, not power. It's kindness. It's connection. It's the courage to cross the lines we're told not to cross. So the question remains, how many more children must stay silent before the world finally learns to listen?